Hi guys. I missed filming on Friday. I had some doctor's appointments, some stuff I had to do. Not sick, just trying to stay healthy. And I had a couple days off this week. I had worked on some more of the prompts from Margarette Miller. Before I go any further with that, I checked out her Etsy, which I didn't know she had when I initially started this. And she has a list of all of her 52 weeks of prompts, which you can print out, or you can buy she has like an actual planner that has them in, which I think is a physical planner, not like print digi. And you can also purchase that from her. She also has a printable that are like the cards. Now I rounded the edges and I backed them on stuff to make them more like tarot looking cards. I just used some printables that I had printed out from Release the Craftin' and that I had not used from a previous project. And yeah, so what you're supposed to do with these is like pick 5 and then pick an extra one and keep it like face down. And then you can either use the 5 that you chose and they're numbered. You don't have to use them in number order, but the fact that they're numbered is like you can use all the even ones or all the odd ones, or mix 2 evens and 2 odds, or you can just randomly, shuffle them and pick one, or excuse me, 5 and then an extra one. So what they said was, if you can't use one of the ones you picked of the 5, use the extra 6 one. I try to use all the 5 and then I use the 6th one as like a bonus, because like a lot of her prompts have bonus items in it. So I thought I'd share that with you guys because a couple of you mentioned that you really liked the idea. And I did see that I got it from Gail Augustinelli. I'm not sure how you say that. Not Shabby Dabby Doodah, even though I do watch both of them, and I told you I often get names and details wrong. So anyway, you already looked at these pages in my previous video. Move this a little bit. There we go. And let me get to the new ones that I did. There's the last one we went over in my old video, my former video. And I did figure out that I did assignment 46 after assignment 44, so I went back to assignment 45. Not that it makes a difference. It's my book. They don't even have to be numbered. But at any rate, assignment 45 is this page. It says a repeating pattern, a place, a chewing gum wrapper or cough drop wrapper, sheet music, something found in a doctor's office, and the bonus item is lines. So my repeating pattern was on this printable that I printed from Release the Craftin', and it's these black squares in her printable. A place, this prescription label is from Lincoln Drugs in 150 Nicollet Drive, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I have no idea, but that's pretty old. That came in some old ephemera someone sent me. A chewing gum or cough drop wrapper. The only thing I could find was a Luden's wrapper, and it kind of didn't go with anything else, so I put it in this little envelope that I had already had made. That also is printable from Release the Craftin' and tied in with the color scheme, so I just put it in there. Sheet music. The background is all sheet music. This is also a cutout. These are also from Release the Craftin', as is this. Something found in a doctor's office. Now I already had the pharmacy antique label, but I had these die cuts that I had purchased. My daughter's in pharmacy school. She wears a stethoscope when she's doing her clinicals all the time. So I purchased these stethoscope die cuts, and you can only buy like 10 or 15 or something crazy like that. I used like one and then had a bunch of them left, but so anyway, that's what I used for that. And my bonus was lines. I have some lines of washi down here. There's also lines in the staff of the sheet music, so I thought that that was adequate for that. And that was assignment 45. Assignment 47, because like I said, I already did 46. I did them on a sequence, is this little page right here. And that is the assignment was something squishy. I had this dyed velvet piece of material that Sheila from Boho Daydreams had made, and I purchased from her. And when you touch velvet, it's kind of like squishy, I think. I feel like. Anyway, I liked it, so I used that, and I pasted my color scheme around that. A favorite word. Now, initially I picked out this word flowers, but then I found this little charm that said love, which I liked, so I used them both. Something maroon. The stamping that is on this is maroon. These dried flowers, who are real dried flowers, are maroon. These flower petals, which are washi, are maroon. Circles. There are many layers of circles in this die cut or, I don't know, element that I had already had. Weather. For weather, the only thing I could think of was like a charm, and the only charms I had that related to weather, I was trying to find like an umbrella or a parasol, but all I could find was a snowflake. But I mean, it's pretty and it's decorative, and it doesn't really look out of place, so I kind of thought I'd use that. And then my bonus was graph paper, and there's some graph paper all the way in the back behind here. This trim also came from Sheila from Boho Daydreams, and then there's just some cotton lace. This is some packaging from something that I purchased, and it also has like a maroon color in it. So that is the, assignment 47. Assignment 48 is this page over here. It says a shoe, a piece of coloring book, a formula, an herb or fragrant plant, and something written in your non-dominant hand. And down here the bonus is a pattern with stripes. So the shoe is this cutout from a coloring book that I had. I love doing adult coloring. I think I did one video on that. I just did a bunch of coloring, so maybe I'll do another video on that. Those videos did really well for me. And anyway, so this was just a piece of a coloring book and a shoe, so I used that for both of my prompts. A formula is, there's that same kind of British monetary breakdown. I know it's not a formula, that's all I have for a formula. I am sure I have biology books all over the place that my daughter gave me when she was going through pharmacy school. I didn't feel like going and digging for one. Plus this was nicely aged, so I just used that. Fragrant plant or herb. I had these, they're not really washi, they're more like, and they're not really vellum, they're just like mylar dyes of plants and flowers, and I thought they were pretty. Plus I had this, so I used that. Something written with your non-dominant hand. I wrote the date, which was April 23rd, 2021. And my bonus was a pattern with stripes. Also, for my fragrant plants, there's also some strawberries and some other plants down here on this washi. And then in the back, I have Tim Holtz wallpaper, and it has a stripe pattern on it. So that was prompt 48. Prompt 49 is this page right here, and it is an illustration, a border or frame, origami or folded paper, something that starts with the letter V, something that represents fall, and bonus is a ribbon. The V part was the hardest part for me. Anyway, an illustration. I love this old illustration of pigs in a mud puddle. My mom and has this fondness for baby pigs. I grew up on a farm, and one time for her birthday, we bought this print for her. It's called Pig Jumping, and it is adorable. It's a pig jumping into a pond. It is so cute. I love it. Anyway, something I just think was really cool. But so I love this illustration. I've been dying to use it, and now I had a chance to use it. So this is my pigs in a mud puddle illustration. A border or frame. I had this frame that I cut out of mirror board. I cut it out for a different reason. It had a picture in it, and I just poked the picture out and reused it. Origami or folded paper. I created this flower down here with origami using some marbled paper that I had. Something that starts with the letter V. I found this Victrola sticker. It's the only thing I can think about. I wanted a violin because a violin to me would have went better, but I could not find anything that wasn't dimensional. That would have made my book way too thick. That was a violin. I even tried to find origami to make a violin, but again, it was dimensional, so I could not make that. Something that represents fall, these fall leaves, and I also think the color scheme kind of represented fall. There's a die cut of a fall leaf back here. And the bonus was ribbon, so to tie the fall colors together, and the can't think of the word, and I literally just said it. The origami paper, and I used a little pin with no loop on it. I put some beads on it, and then I just pinned some ribbons to it. So that was assignment 49. Assignment 50 is this side, and assignment 50 is a star, a doll or toy, something cold, a portion of a brochure or ad, something that reminds you of your mother, grandmother / grandmother, bonus, something musical. So, I had this piece of paper that I embossed with keys on it a while ago. Keys always remind me of my grandmother's house because she had a really old, which would have been considered like a fancy house back in the day. It had like chandeliers and, old skeleton keys, and it was a beautiful house. It is a beautiful. Well, my cousin owns it now. It's not. It's been changed, but it's a brick house, and it had all these fancy additions, which over the years my grandparents lived there. I don't know, probably my grandmother died at 100. She probably lived there 80 of those years. So at any rate, the keys reminded me of my grandmother's house. They always do. And then a doll or a toy. I had this little sticker of no, it was a rub-on of like a rocking horse. And then on this page that folds out, I also had a stamp that had like a child's toy that was like a ride-on horse from like the 1900s. And something cold. This is a snow-covered cabin. There's some snowflakes. I don't know, just this blue sky winter kind of color brought that in for me. And then the bonus was something musical. And then I used the rest of this page because it was a portion of a brochure. So I had gotten a brochure from a clothing manufacturer or a clothing store in the mail, and it had this kind of cool leopard print on the back, which doesn't really go with anything, but it was a nice, strong piece of card, so I used that as my background. I attached it with some washi. My mom's name is June, and when she was little, they used to call her Junebug. So this beetle looked like a Junebug to me, so that reminded me of my mom. My mom also loves flowers and butterflies and all things of nature. So that was kind of an homage to my mom, as well as are these washi flower petals that just like keep peeling off, and I keep finding them everywhere in my book. But yeah, they're still so pretty, and that's kind of realistic that they would come off. And then the bonus for something musical is there's some sheet music back here behind this. A star. This has the sun and multiple other stars in my background here, so that would be the star. Yeah, and then, you know, just the rest is just purely decorative, doesn't really pull in the theme, but just stuff I had in my stash that I thought was cool and I wanted to use in a book that I was going to keep off my own. Okay, let's get this side. This is assignment 51, which is something fast, an eating or cooking utensil, anything that starts with the letter K, a random piece of washi tape, text in a foreign language, and the bonus was triangles. So, surprisingly, the something fast was the hardest thing for me. I wanted to use moths and butterflies, and my boyfriend was like, that's not fast. They just kind of flit around, and yeah, he was right. But anyway, so my something fast ended up being this deer and this bird, because this bird like looks like it is poised for flight and very aerodynamic, my opinion, allegedly. Anything that starts with the letter K, also very hard. I wanted to use a kettle, I wanted to use a kite, I wanted to use just some old-timey thing. Couldn't find anything, but I found this letterhead from an old billing thing that I had in my stash, and the name of the company started with a K, and it said anything that starts with a K. So I used that for my starts with a K. A random piece of washi. I put several random pieces of washi. Text in a foreign language. This book page back here, I think it is Greek, but I can't tell because I obviously can't read it, but it's beautiful. It has like all these, the font is gorgeous, and it has like all these extra pieces of punctuation over the A's and stuff. It's beautiful. I think it's Greek. I could definitely be wrong. Could be something not even related to being Greek, but it's definitely a foreign language. And the bonus was triangles, so I just made some corners with metal corners here, and I put triangles on the bottom to make it look like, you know, book cover or whatever. The rest of the stuff is just things I had in my stash that I like. This is some wide washi down here. This was a printable, and just some stickers and florals, and yeah, so this ticket came out of my stash. So that is assignment 51. This is assignment 52 on this page. This is something that represents time, something that blows in the wind, threads or fabric, an animal, something out of the recycle bin, and the bonus was a postage stamp. So, my something that represents time are these pocket watches. My daughter loves pocket watches. She collects antique pocket watches. They're very hard to come by, and they're very expensive. She has a couple that work, like, still to this day, that are, like, over 100 years old, and they're really beautiful. I know what started it, but it's interesting that, you know, she started collecting them when she was like 16 or 17. So, at any rate, pocket watches were part of my something that represents time. Also, I had this stamp, which was the bonus, and it had a clock face on it, so I used that as well. Something that blows in the wind were these leaves. I love these leaves. This was the end of those leaves, and I don't have the packaging from them. I think they're Prima, but I'm not sure. They are gorgeous. If I could find them again, I would buy them in a hot minute. They're so realistic, so textured. They add so much to the page. Love them. Chef's kiss. Fabric or threads. I used this fabric that I had a piece left over. I don't know where I got it from. It's pretty. It has like a paisley pattern woven into it, and it's like a green that ties this green and this green into the page. An animal. This stamp has a bird on it. That would be my animal. Put a bird on it. Something out of the recycle bin. This was an Amazon recyclable packaging. I pulled it out of the recycle bin. I cut a strip off. I stamped it with a stamp that I own, a rubber stamp that I own, and Tim Holtz Stress Ink Oxide in Espresso. And then the rest was postage stamps, and I had a ton of postage stamps, so I went through all of them, and I pulled out basically, except for this one color, different shades of it to kind of tie it together and just spread them all over. It was a postage stamp, but I just felt like, I don't know, I liked it. It helped pull in the bird too. The bird was kind of just out there. Anyway, this one, assignment 55, something pink, sheet music, a clothing tag, a list, text from a book, and the bonus was a rubber stamping in 2 colors. I thought I was going to hate this. When I started doing this page, it did not look good at all. I love this page now. And what turned it around for me was this rubber stamping and these pieces of washi that like pulled it all together. So for my something pink was obviously the washi and the scrapbook paper. I cut a couple squares as well and put them around some of the words that I found particularly interesting. This says, I'll put it in a rhyme, but my faithful pen. I don't know. It's a song. So anyway, the sheet music is in the back, obviously. Clothing tag, my one of my best friends, Liz, just gave me a scarf actually that day from Tahari, and I took the tag off it. It was part of my birthday present. Her birthday's April 2nd and mine is March 11th, and we get together yesterday, and we both have had our COVID shots. We both have had them for a long time. We both work at the same hospital, so you know, we were all being safe and everything. But she gave me my birthday present. I gave her her birthday present. At any rate, that's where the tag came from. A list. This was a list, and it seemed to coordinate. It was in my stash with a bunch of junk from like an estate sale or something. It seemed to coordinate with somebody like taking pictures for like a wedding or something, like different locations and the people's names that they wanted in them. It was kind of cool. So it was numbered, so I felt like that was a list. Used that as my list. Text from a book. I used part of the lady's diary that everybody seems to want. Can't think of her name right now. God, my brain is not going today because it is Sunday morning. But y'all know. If y'all do junk journaling, you know exactly where that came from. And then I stamped with some of these bee stamps that I had, and some of they came with also a honeycomb stamp. I wanted it to look really rustic. I didn't even put them on a block or anything. I just stuck them in there and popped them around. And then the rubber stamping in another color. I also stamped out these jars. The jar stamps came a couple months ago in my Your Creative Studios box, and they were like mason jars and different kind of jar stamps, and then they had like floral stamps you could print stamp out to put in the jars. So I did the jars in one color of ink, and then I rubber stamped the florals in a different color of oxide ink. So that was my stamping in 2 colors, and that is as far as I've gotten with these prompts. But a couple people were really seemed to be interested in the comments of the prompts, the past prompt video that I'd done. So that's why I wanted to make sure that they could find the Margarette Miller prompts, and if they wanted to purchase the printout to make the cards, so they could basically make up their own prompts ad nauseum. give them some more ideas to make up their own list of prompts, whatever. So I thought that was really cool, and I thought I'd share that with y'all. I didn't get a chance to talk to you much this week. I'm going to work in this book today, so some people said, can you do a journal with me, doing some of your prompts? I tend to drop things a lot. I tend to not use PC words when I drop things a lot. My family tends to be very loud. My boyfriend is taking a nap right now. He worked really super hard. He worked like 6.5 days this week, so he needed a nap. And yeah, so it depends on how long my house is quiet. My youngest daughter is at work, so the house is kind of like me and the dog right now, and my boyfriend taking a nap. But we'll see. I don't know how many people are really interested in it. This person seemed very interested in it, which I appreciated. If I could sit and watch somebody do this ad nauseum, I think it's a really cool thing just to see how people's brains work and what they pull out of their stash and how they put it together to make it cohesive. It's like amazing for me. I love that kind of crap. So anyways, I hope y'all are having a good week, and I hope y'all are healthy and safe, and thinking about you all, and stay safe and wear a mask and get your immunization when it's available to you, because herd immunity. And really seriously be kind to each other. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and it just, a little kindness goes so far in the world. I can tell you that when somebody does something nice for me, it affects me deeply. It means a great deal to me. So yeah, just try to reach out and be kind, just for no other reason than it makes you feel good, and in reality it makes you a better person. So yeah, I will talk to you guys next week if I do not decide to sit down and film some additional things I've been working on for my Lisa Crafton project for May. And I actually had just purchased, I don't know if y'all watch, I think it's Bohemian Crafting. Her name is Eva, and I love her, and I just joined her Patreon, and she had a really cool tutorial on how to make this book she was making, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. So I followed the tutorial. My book doesn't look anything like hers. It's not done as well as hers. I did like the way it turned out. I thought it was cool. It's completely out of my wheelhouse. It's something different than I've ever done before. Stylistically, color-wise, like the whole deal. So I can't wait to show you guys that in May. And that's pretty much what I'm up to. So I hope you all have a lovely rest of your Sunday, and I will talk to you again real soon. And best wishes for your health and happiness. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.